Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another album review. My name is Christian Eschbach. All right, everybody. I decided I am going to do two albums for the price of one on this one, and that is because I am doing Ozzy Osbourne, No Rest for the Wicked, and the live EP that goes with the tour for this with the Just Say Ozzy. Okay. Let's start with I really hate this version of the album cover. It annoys the crap out of me. After that, so one of the key and important things here is the band roster for this album. Because this was the first album to feature the one and only Zakk Wylde. Let's see here. Where is it? Yeah. So we got Zakk Wylde on guitar, Randy Castillo on drums, and Bob Daisley on the bass, which is awesome. I should have looked for the keyboards and I didn't. Sorry. I never think to look for the keyboards. This album wasn't as heavy with the keyboards though. There was definitely a step away from that. Let's see. I'm just gonna get into this album. I'm not gonna say that this was a bad album. I'm definitely not gonna say it's a good album. The album opens up with Miracle Man. I don't like this song. I get why some people do. I don't. I've got very little use for it. Devil's Daughter. I think it's the lyrical content I don't like of the song. Too cliche for Ozzy. It's not musically, it's a good tune. I really enjoy it musically. It just lyrically doesn't do much for me. Then we get into Crazy Babies. I do enjoy Crazy Babies. It's one of those ones where I do really kind of dig it, get into it while it's going. You know, it's got a great riff going on in there, man. It really does. It's a good fun song for Ozzy. That's the best way to look at Crazy Babies. It's a good fun song. You know, it's got some great riffing in it. It's Ozzy having some fun with the lyrics and whatnot. But other than that, it's not anything too over the top. It's not anything, fantastic, anything like that. After that, we go into Breaking All the Rules. I actually do enjoy the song. This one's got some nice texturing and layering to it, which isn't bad. It makes for a very solid album track. Bloodbath in Paradise really did nothing for me. It's not a bad song. It just didn't do anything for me. Then we got Fire in the Sky, and weirdly enough, Fire in the Sky might actually be my favorite song on this album. It's a very kind of basic album cut, but it's a very good, straight ahead kind of rock song. Reminds me a lot more lyrically, kind of like Blue Oyster Cult, and less, typical Ozzy kind of stuff. Like there was just something really enjoyable, and the layering on the vocals and just the instrumentation alone and whatnot in there. I just really enjoy it. It's a really enjoyable song, man. It's one of those songs I could easily put it into a movie soundtrack somewhere along the way, and people are gonna be like, "Whoa, man, is that a new Ozzy tune or something like that?" Because no one's gonna be familiar with it, but it really would stand out, kind of thing. Okay, then we're into Tattoo Dancer. I don't mind this one when the album's playing. Not what I would think of outside of that, but when the album's playing, I do enjoy it. And then Demon Alcohol, I think, finishes off the album really nicely, but only musically. Lyrically, I really don't pay much attention to it lyrically. This album is a really well written album musically. Lyrically, this album doesn't do a lot for me. Um, I got this one used. I think I paid $10 for this one. Might have been as low as 6. If you can find it, used for like say $10, why not pick it up? I don't definitely. If this had been the album I had started with Ozzy, I don't know if I would have continued with Ozzy. But it's not a bad album. It's kind of a. Ozzy has a lot of kind of just basic kind of mid-range albums, and this kind of feels more in that basic mid-range, maybe a little on the higher end. It's a lot of the lyrics, I guess. They just don't do much for me on this album. I don't know. Okay, so going from that over to this. All right, so Just Say Oz. This would be, or Just Say Ozzy, sorry. This would be the tour to go with this. But the musicians, the musicians supporting on this tour would have been Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, Zakk Wylde, and Randy Castillo. Which that's pretty cool, man. That means we're getting, some Sabbath action going on here. But overall, of all the live stuff I've got from Ozzy, I don't think there's anything on here that really kind of pops, other than there's a couple songs on here that I definitely don't have live versions of. So it opens up with Miracle Man, which is alright. I've already covered that. I've talked about the song. Doesn't do much for me. I understand why some people like it. It just doesn't do anything for me. Then you get into Bloodbath in Paradise, and it's kind of like, alright, well, that one didn't do much for me on the album, so alright. And then we got Shot in the Dark, which is cool. Okay, Shot in the Dark, and, this is the first time you get to hear a live rendition of Zakk Wylde doing Shot in the Dark, so that's kind of cool. Then you got Tattooed Dancer, and once again, it's kind of like, all right, really, that's the song you picked to go with, whatever, okay. And then we've got Sweet Leaf and War Pigs, and they're both okay renditions. I don't mind them. I don't have renditions with these particular band members necessarily doing them together before. I would have to really sit down with War Pigs and listen to some of the other renditions of War Pigs I've got to see really how it goes. And I think I might actually do that. It'd be a great little episode on its own, just to talk about all the different versions of War Pigs I have. And compare them together. Sweet Leaf. I like Sweet Leaf on the album. It is a great song. It's one of those songs where live it never quite works the same way for me. This one I got for like $6. That one I know that for sure. $6 that'd be $1 a song. Okay, that's not bad. Just because you do get live renditions of songs that, I don't have live renditions of from before in any way, shape, or form. So that's a thing. I think these two packaged together as a double disc as like a special anniversary edition for like $25 brand new. Maybe if there's a little bonus material, some outtakes, some older songs that didn't quite make the album, floating around one or two, throw it on there as well. That'd be a really good set. Me paying like $16 for the two of them isn't horrible. It fills out the Ozzy collection. This one's technically not needed unless you're going hardcore, I guess. I don't know. That's it. I'm gonna kind of leave it there. I think, well, okay, one last final thought. So going from this to this, I would have used Crazy Babies instead of Miracle Man. I would have used Breaking All the Rules instead of Bloodbath in Paradise, and I would have used Fire in the Sky instead of Tattooed Dancer. That's what I would have done there. Okay, that's it, folks. I'm done. Let me know what you think down below. What songs would you, if you were to have picked other songs? What three songs? What three songs off of No Rest for the Wicked would you have used as the live tracks on here? Tell me down below in the comments. I really want to know. And I do respond in the comments, so please leave comments. I mean, sometimes I at least just hit the little like button or I'll put a little heart on it if I don't have anything really to add to it. But if I can add something to it, man, I will respond. So just drop a comment down below. Also, like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. If you could hit those, please, I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out with the metrics and whatnot, and help me get a little more visual. There's a couple links below if you could check those out as well. That'd be great. They take you to some fun places. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care, and I'll see you in the next review.